In the words of the great Ricky Bobby, speed. It's all about speed, but a nasty speed. And of course, I paraphrase for the little ears that may be listening. What's up, Central Florida? Darryl Dziedzic, your realtor here today. The question on the table is, how should I price my house? Or what price should I put my house? Great question. Before we dive into that, I want to make a quick note of clarity, quick distinction. The question of how should I price my house versus what's my house worth, two distinct questions. What we're going to talk about today is pricing your house for the market to get it ready to sell. So I'm going to let you in on a little realtor secret that I use, but it's really not a secret. This is how you got to look at it. It's a principle that you can follow to get an idea of what your house is worth on the market today. Not 5 years ago, not in 10 years, today. If you're going to offload your home, your property, you need to get the money out of it. You need to move. You need to, whatever you need to do. How can you price it? Well, my friends, it's all about, in the words of Ricky Bobby, boom, speed. I want you to think of the principle of speed. That determines everything. Speed is important. And speed goes across all wealth and all finances. Correct? So, for example, if I were to say to you today, look, I'm going to give you $1 million. I'm going to give you $1 million. I'm going to give you $1 million by the end of the day today. Versus, I'm going to give you $1 million in 80 years. But you would laugh. Darryl, that's ridiculous. I may not be around in 80 years. I don't know. But the reality is, you want your money now. Right? I'll give you $1 million today at the end of the day versus I will give you $10 million in 100 years. Are you going to wait 100 years for that $1 million? No, we want the money now. So think about that in speeds. This is how we price our house today in the market. So the first thing you have to think about is, how fast do I want to sell? The second thing you have to look at is, what is the days on market in this market? Not the market of 2021, not the market of 2030, which we don't know what it's going to look like, but in this market. Now, I'm going to let you know another second realtor secret. Markets shift and take shifts every 90 to 180 days, give or take. That's the real estate spectrum. Markets is a spectrum. So when you look at speed and you look at days on market, you have to ask yourself, first of all, there's a spectrum. So today's days on market in this market is a lot longer than the days back in 2021, right? Days on market was a day, 2 days max, 3 days maybe if your house was priced incorrectly or as a piece of crap. And even those were selling. Today, that same house, the days on market is over 30 days, over 40 days. I'll get the exact numbers and put it right here, right there for you. So we look at the days on market. Now, you take that and you say, okay, in today's market and looking at the days on market of what houses are selling, how fast do I want to sell in that? So naturally, obviously, if you want to sell faster and beat the average days on market, you're going to have a lower price. If you want to try to get that top dollar, know that you're going to be on the back end of that spectrum. That's it. So typically, right, these lowball offers that people, I'm going to get a lowball offer, right? Those lowball offers, there's not a lowball. What they're saying is, I'm going to give you this money today, fast. Not that your house is worth that. That's not what they're saying. They're like, I'm just going to give you this money today. Now, mind you, it's less money. Why? Because you're getting it instantly. Think of your $1 million today versus $10 million in 100 years. That principle. So look at the speed. How fast do you want to sell? So let's take this through a typical seller. If you are watching this video, most likely you are a person who is like, I want top dollar. That's most likely that's the most calls I get. Sometimes I get a few calls and people, Darryl, I've got to get out of this house. Boom, boom, I got it. Okay, no problem. I got you. I'll cover you. I have you covered. I can help you there too. But most of my, excuse me, most of the calls I get are people saying, look, I'm looking to sell. I got to move, or I want to move. I want to downsize. I want to upsize. I don't have to sell right now. I can afford to wait and get top dollar. Perfect. So what I say to you is this. You're waiting. How fast do you want to go in that waiting period? Some people have a job waiting for them, so then their timeline is imposed on them by somebody else, their timeline restrictions. Some people say, well, when I find the right house. Okay, no problem. So find the right house. Let's look. What does that look like? That's a whole other avenue. That means they have a longer time span. But let's pretend, let's say you had a job and they're like, look, we're going to transfer you out to your new place. We want you to start in 2 weeks. We'll put you up until you sell your house. Now, you have a shorter timeline. You might be like, in today's market where houses are sitting 45 days, I'll get the accurate numbers for you and put them down here as of this date. You're like, look, I want to be on the shorter end of the timeline. So we're going to price our house what we call aggressively. That's what realtors speak. Aggressively means we're going to be probably a little bit lower or right there, right? That's that we might be just right under, so we're getting a lot of people looking at your property. Pricing your house unaggressively, which means like, we're going to be a little bit on the higher end and you may have to wait for that money. And that's fine. It doesn't matter what you choose. But what I want you to walk away with this is when you call me to list your house and I sit there and I say, look, how fast do you want to sell? I'm not being crazy. It's not a crazy question, right? This is a question that in your head tells me, okay, where is your needs? Because to serve you, I got to know what you need. And some people, if they don't know what they need, then the frustration sets in and people have misguided conceptions of what should happen, of what the market is. So I will tell you, okay, you want to sell this fast? These are the average days on markets. Here's your spectrum. Where do you want to fall? That's it. It's that simple. That's what this whole video is about. Getting clear on the speed you need to sell your home. Looking at the days on, looking at the days on market. That's two things. And then you can come to a decision about where do you want to fall in the spectrum, right? It's not a perfect price. Real estate is never a perfect price. There's never a perfect top and a perfect bottom. It is a spectrum. And of course, we want to be at the upper end of the spectrum and the lower end of the spectrum. So my friends, how do you price your house? Think of Ricky Bobby. Speed. But a nasty speed. Give me a call, list your house. I'd love to have the conversation. What'd you think of this video? I want to hear what you think about pricing. I want to hear what you think about days on market. I would love to hear what you say. And because this, my friend, these videos are always a conversation. Let's get a conversation. Put your thoughts in there. Let me hear what you got to say. And I will see you on the next one. Oh, by the way, my catchphrase, right? If you ever want to talk it through, I'm easy to reach. Slow down for clarity because slow is smooth and smooth is fast.